All right. Hello and welcome back to How To with Melissa's Magical Creations. I'm Kathleen. And a lot of people have been asking me, how do I get my hair like I do? Well, beyond genetics, there is an upkeep that I do with my hair, and it will actually help you with your hair. It'll help soften your texture if your hair is coarse or thick and curly. If it is really thin, if you apply my oil. Now, this is the oil. I showed you all how to make this oil on one of my videos. Well, I also showed you how to make your own aloe vera oil and your own carrot oil. So all I did was I added a fourth of a cup of the aloe vera oil to my oil base, and I did a half a cup of carrot oil to the oil base. So I just mixed that together. Now, I have this because this is what we're going to use around the house. I always set aside some for my household. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you. I have, as you can see, I've shampooed my hair. Um, Shampoo I use mostly, if I'm in between pays or something like that, I'll just use VL5. That's a staple in my house. But sometimes if I see something like Pantene on sale, then I will get some Pantene and I will use that. So I did shampoo my hair with the Pantene um, curl, the one that's for curls. It defines your curls and things like that in case I ever want to just go ahead and wear my hair down, which is rare, especially in this time of year. It would have to be blazing hot outside for me to do that. But I shampooed my hair and I conditioned it. With the conditioner, I left it on for about 20 minutes and then I rinsed it off. So I'm going to add my hair oil. All I did was brush it out, and I'm going to add my hair oil. And because my hair is so thick and it is curly, and then of course you can tell it's long, um, I'm going to just braid my hair up to dry naturally. I'm trying not to use a lot of heat on my hair because it's just not that healthy. I use heat like a flat iron, or I might, get my 21-year-old to help me like blow dry my hair out. Because sometimes, I no longer am in the shop because I did have some issues with my right arm, had to have surgery and all that. So now it just does not work like it used to when I was in the shop. But as you see, I'm just pouring it in my hand. I am getting some on my scalp. I'm getting some. I'm going to, try and focus on my ends also. And I'm just going to rub it in. And then I'm going to just brush it through. And then put another braid in it. I already did this side. And what I'm going to do is just brush it through. Move this to the side. I don't like messes. All right. So I have it brushed all the way through. As you can tell, even with how you just saw it, it was wet. I didn't even dry my hair. I just twisted it up so that I could get dressed and everything. Um, but I just brushed it through. And as you see, it lays down better. Um, of course, because of the lavender, the actual lavender and the actual rosemary and rose buds and things like that that I put into the hair oil, you're going to see that in your hair. It's okay. It'll just come out. It's not a problem. Or, you can sit there and try and pick it out. But I just leave it. I don't care. That doesn't mean anything for me. I need the properties in the hair oil itself while it is soaking up and absorbing all of the things that you added to the hair oil. It is good for your hair. So just braiding this up. You want to make sure you do something with your hair. If I wasn't having to go somewhere today, I would have put like 4 to 6 braids in my hair, or I would have even twisted it up into Bantu knots. I'll show you that on another day, how I twist my hair up into Bantu knots. Um, but, once you get to this part of your hair, as you know, your hair will tangle, especially if it's wet, it'll tangle. So you want to brush it or comb it through. So I did the brush. Now I'm going to make sure with the comb. All right. So I have all of this done. I'm just going to go to the end. I'm going to put a rubber band at the end. That way it'll hold, because my hair will unravel, especially if it's wet. It'll unravel. And I don't want it to, because then that's defeating the purpose of it being decent. Me going outside and, not looking like a wild woman. Okay. Got my rubber bands over here. You can get your rubber bands, these little black ones, for like $300 or $500 in a pack, like $2 and some change. But I make sure nothing will crawl up and crawl out. Like say I have a piece of rosemary right there. But that is it. And then I know, because I did put the oil on it, if you want to actually, do a little more, you can. If you have like a dropper, I do have a dropper, but I just want to show you how to do it in case you don't have one. You can just take the dropper and run it along your scalp, because you do. I don't care what anyone tells you. Your hair needs to be conditioned, fed. Your scalp needs to be fed. And I'm just putting this on the part that goes down the middle, so it does not dry up and my scalp is dry. Like dry and not healthy dry. You always want to make sure that you have oil on your scalp. There. And then you just run it through a little bit. You rub your hair back. And this is the front. That's the back. And that's it. Simple. This is my regimen. After I shampoo my hair, that's what I do. I shampoo my hair normally every 2 weeks. And that's what I do. Unless I do use my dropper, and then I'll just take it and run it along my scalp and drop oil on it and then massage it through really well. That conditions your scalp, it conditions your hair, it strengthens your hair, because your hair does need to be fed. Now, I know a lot of people of certain ethnic groups, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything, it's just your hair may be a little different than mine. As you see, I'm mixed. So people who are mixed, they need oil in their hair, and they need for their hair to be shampooed at least once every 2 weeks. Never every day. Never ever every other day. At the most once a week, but at the least once every 2 weeks. So never more than once a week. If you have children who are mixed, that way you are not stripping the oil that we actually need in our hair, so that it doesn't dry, it doesn't get brittle, it doesn't break off. Now you need oil. Even if you have an excessive oil, don't put it on your scalp. If you have a lot, your sebaceous glands are running overtime, that's when you need to shampoo more frequently. So if you're not mixed and you have overrunning sebaceous glands, shampoo your hair every 2 or 3 days. Don't do the everyday thing, because you can still damage your hair, especially your ends. So put a little oil on your ends. Don't focus on your scalp, because of course you don't need it. But on your ends, because it goes down, it loses the oil. You're shampooing frequently. You don't want your ends to break and get brittle, because once they do, they ride up that shaft of hair, gets into your root, and then it kills the root, and that's where it falls out. And once the root has been killed, it doesn't grow back. That root does not grow back. So that hair follicle, and I know it might just be one, but it's okay, leave her alone. It might just be one, but one adds up to 10, which adds up to 100, which adds up to being noticed. And you don't want your hair to do that, especially us. We're women. We if we have short hair, if we have long hair, doesn't matter the length, doesn't matter the texture. We still want our hair to do what we want it to do and look the way we want it to look. So if it's falling out, it's not doing what you want, or it's not looking how you want. So, like I said, this is just my thing. When I do the Bantu knots, I will do a video on that. I will have most of it done because, like I said, it's thick and it's long, and that'll be a video that takes forever. But I want to wish everyone a wonderful rest of your day. I want you to be safe, especially during this time, and make the right decisions. Be happy, be blessed. Find something to do so that you do not go stir crazy in the house. And you have an absolute wonderful day, and I will see you next time.